Hey guys, today I'm going to have a little girl talk session with y'all. I asked for some girl talk topics on my Instagram story, and you guys honestly gave me the best suggestions of things to talk about, and I'm so excited to get into this video, so let's just get started. I'm going to start with periods. So the first one is, when you're on your period, how do you reduce the pain? So for me, I don't get super bad cramps, thankfully, but when I do, I just take Advil or Tylenol, and I always use a heating pad. I just rely on my heating pad so much now that like when I get cramps, I need to get it out immediately. And other things you can do is search up some pressure points. I know that pressing here on your thumb always helps for like headaches that correlate with your period. And I don't know what this pressure point is, but I always do it for headaches. And then yoga poses. Yoga is so good for cramps. I don't know why it helps, but it always does. Child's pose especially has always helped me. Also, I might sound a little raspy, and it's because I lost my voice again somehow. Sorry I sound a little scratchy. First period story. Haha, by the way, I love you so much. I love you too. And my first period story is actually kind of funny. I was at a sophomore year homecoming in high school, and I literally thought I was gonna have to run to the bathroom because my stomach hurt so bad, but I ended up just suffering through the pain, and you know, I was fine the whole night. And by the time I got home, I checked and I had bled everywhere. I like stained my dress. I didn't even know this happened. Like, that was probably the worst way to get my period at homecoming. But when I got home, I was like, Mom, I think I got my period. And I was freaking out for sure because I got my period super late in life, sophomore year high school. A lot of my friends had gotten it in middle school at that point. So I was really new to it, and it was scary to get it sophomore year for sure. Also, there's Buddy in the back. He's vibing. Do you use menstrual cups? No, I don't. I use tampons and pads. And a lot of questions on here are asking me to teach you how to use a tampon. And when I first learned how to use a tampon, I was very confused. It took a while to get used to for sure. But if you search up some videos on like help with that and tutorials on how to, that's what I did. The tutorials definitely helped me kind of understand the process of putting a tampon in, but until you figure it out, pads are always a good option. I can't explain it because I'm not very good at it myself, so okay, this one is, what was it like telling your mom you got your period? So I literally told her immediately after I found out myself, because I'm very open with my mom and I'm blessed to have that relationship with her where I can just tell her anything. But I wasn't really scared to tell her, and guys, your moms, they experience this as well, and it's so okay to tell them you got your period. I don't know what I would do without my mom in that situation, because I needed pads at that point and tampons, and as a little girl I did not know how to get those. So yeah, just being open with someone close to you in your life is very helpful. I'm trying to look for more period questions, but okay, worst period story. I sneezed in Publix and ran to the bathroom because I had a little accident. That was my worst period story ever. I was so embarrassed, but it's normal. How do you deal with cramps if they get terrible? Trust me, my cramps have gotten terrible in the past, and just the things I listed before, like yoga poses and using a heating pad, those things have always helped me. And obviously taking medicine helps, but not everyone takes medicine for their pain. And I do, and it usually helps, but it takes a little while to set in. I'm gonna move on to a different topic now. I think we're gonna move into boys. Yay, we love that. That is just so exciting to talk about. And I think I really like this question. Why are boys so dumb? Yeah, I don't know. I can tell you guys right now that I have dealt with a lot of not very smart boys. They make bad decisions, they hurt me, they just don't know what they want, and I can promise you guys it's because they're just too immature at this point in life, and they're not worth your time. The boys that waste your time are not worth it in the first place. And I've had to learn that several times this year in college, throughout high school. I've just dealt with boys that have kept hurting me. So I don't know why boys are dumb, but they make a lot of decisions that affect girls, and I think that's just the reason they're dumb. They just don't know how to handle situations sometimes. But I can say that not all boys are dumb. There's definitely a good handful of boys out there that are willing to treat you right in life, and there's someone out there for everyone. I hope I can find my someone someday, and who knows if I've already met them, I don't know. But I'm very excited to meet that boy that can just make me feel like the happiest girl in the world and have no worries about them being a horrible boyfriend, because I've had pretty bad boyfriends in the past. This question says, is there any relationship advice you can give from previous relationships? I have had some relationships that were very bad, and after going through those experiences, I guess I could give y'all some advice. But basically, I think my main advice would be communication is very important to a relationship. If you're not able to communicate what someone is doing wrong or right in your relationship, then sometimes it doesn't work out. And in the past, I was too shy to be in these relationships. I never told them what they were doing wrong, and just, it was not a good combination because neither of us would talk about our feelings, and things just weren't getting communicated correctly, and that usually causes a lot of issues. I just think that it's common knowledge to say that you want someone who's going to treat you the best that you deserve. You all deserve the best, and I want someone for everyone here that is just gonna treat you amazing, because that's what you deserve. I really feel like one day I'll find someone that will treat me well, because in the past these relationships were not the best. So basically the advice I have is just find someone who treats you well and is able to communicate to you, because communication is very important. What do you do when you like a guy? Yeah, this is a good question for me, even because I don't know. I don't know what I do when I like a guy. I typically let them come to me, because every time I've tried to go for someone, it's always end up like backlashing on me, and I've always ended up getting hurt. But when I like a guy, I usually will Snapchat them. I will make an effort to see them if they ask me to hang out. I just try and send them like nice texts. I don't like act super dry around them. I don't know. When you like a guy, there are so many different strategies to get them to like you back, but usually I just leave it up to the universe, and if they like me back, they like me back, but if not, I'm not gonna force anything. God's plan, you know, I'm not gonna force a relationship or feelings for anyone ever again, because that has been pretty bad in the past. When you like a guy, just be yourself. That's the best thing you can do. What type of guy are you simping on? This is a funny question. So typically the guys that I simp over are, let's see, smart, nice, athletic, cute, but it's more so like for me now what's on the inside that matters, and I don't really go for looks. I don't think that's the main thing you want to look for in a person, because looks fade, but the personality and the way they treat you usually remains the same. And I've learned that from my mom. She always told me that ever since I was a kid, to look for what's on the inside of a person, even when you're making friends. Like, if you meet someone who is terribly mean to you but popular, you don't want them as a friend. You want to meet someone who you click with and who you can just easily talk to, and they're super nice to you. You don't want someone who's just gonna treat you like trash. And that's the same with guys. You don't want someone who's just gonna look adorable in photos but treat you like a horrible girlfriend. So I am simping over someone right now for sure, but we'll get into that later or in another video. How do you handle heartbreak? I don't think I've really been heartbroken before. I'm usually the one who does the heartbreaking, which is sad to say, but I've had to break off my relationships because they just weren't working out for me, and I've never been in a serious relationship before, so I'm not usually the one to go for relationship advice. It would be Kacy. Kacy has good relationship advice, but I literally have not dealt with a heartbreak. I mean, when I break up with someone and I'm sad over it, the way I handle it is just not looking at their Snapchat stories, not talking to them, like breaking off all communication usually helps me heal faster. And when I did stay in communication, that just kept hurting me. So dealing with that definitely would be just cutting them off, because you don't want that in your life. You don't want any more of it, especially if they hurt you. And same thing for my sister. Like, her heartbreak affected me, and I needed to cut that person off for her, because she does not deserve to be treated like that at all, and no one does. So if someone breaks your heart, just cut them off. Cut them off. I'm gonna go all over the place now because these questions are starting to get a little mixed up. So this one says, is it okay to have one boob smaller than or bigger than the other? Yes, that is very normal. I mean, there's no set standards for boobs. They can be small on one side, big on the other. I mean, I think I have uneven ones, so I think it's normal. I think it's very normal, actually. I've heard so many people, all of my friends, talk about this, and yeah, you're good. What are some of your insecurities, if you have any? I have so many insecurities, and I've tried my best to get over them and just accept them at this point, but I guess I can talk about a few of them. My first insecurity is my body type. I feel like a very wide human being, and I've seen comments before telling me I'm a door, I'm a wall, I'm super wide, and like, obviously I don't let the comments get to me, but like, I believe that I do feel like a wall or a door sometimes, because I do feel very wide. Other insecurities I have are stretch marks, for sure. Stretch marks are definitely one of my biggest insecurities. I don't know where they came from, when they occurred, but whenever they showed up, I was upset about them, and I know I'm insecure about them. I have to figure out how to get over all my anxiety without medication, and I don't know how. Girl, trust me, this is something that I can talk to you about, because I dealt with anxiety for about 2 years without medication, and I can just say it was very hard, because dealing with anxiety is not something that everyone understands, and it's not something that everyone can calm you down from. They don't really know what's going on in your head. And for me, my anxiety just consists of me freaking out, shaking, feeling very, very nauseous, and sweating, and just like my mind and heart are racing because I can't calm down. And a lot of my anxiety stems from health issues. I've always been a hypochondriac, and phobias that I have. So it's very, very normal. Anxiety is super common in today's society. But the only thing I can say about calming yourself down when you have anxiety is just breathing. That has always helped me. I watch meditation videos now because sometimes I literally can't even breathe myself out of it. I need to watch something and distract my mind. I also have my little puppy dog who I can go take for a walk really fast if I start feeling really anxious or just overwhelmed, because whenever you distract your mind, you feel so much better. I just realized that recently, because if I'm sitting here in my room by myself just having an anxiety attack, there's nothing that's going to make me feel better unless I go outside my room, or unless I go outside on a walk, or get some fresh air, or drink water, or try and eat food or something. I've dealt with it for so long now that I have a lot of different ways of coping with it, but I just wish it would go away completely. So I understand you completely. I know what you're going through, and I'm so sorry. It is very hard to deal with sometimes, and it can be very overwhelming, but there are better days ahead, and you will 100% beat it. You will get through it. I mean, I kind of have. Another one, what do I do to help calm myself when I get anxious? P.S. I love you so much. That one kind of relates to the last one I answered. Just all of those ways really help me. I love going for walks. That's the one that always helps me out. Or talking to someone. I forgot to mention that. Like, even if it's like your mom or your dad and you call them just for a little conversation to distract your mind. I mean, I FaceTime my mom and dad every time I feel anxious, and suddenly I feel better. Or I'll call Casey or talk to Buddy, because Buddy listens to my problems as he's making more problems for me by chewing my pillows. How do I nicely reject someone? I would say friend zone them and just say, I don't want to ruin our friendship. I really care about you, but I would rather us just stay friends because I don't feel the same way about you as you feel about me. And if it's someone new that you're trying to reject, you could nicely just be like, I don't know. Usually it ends up me just leaving them on open and not talking to them ever again if I don't have the same feelings for them. Personal question, are you a virgin, and if not, did the first time hurt? I have no idea if it hurts because I am a virgin still. So that's my answer to the question. What are your confidence tips? This is a good question. I had a lot of trouble with gaining confidence over the past few years, for sure. And to gain confidence, I think I have just stopped comparing myself to others, because everyone is so different that you can't just put yourself next to another person and say, or point out everything that's different about you guys and all the negative things. Like, you need to start bringing yourself up and complimenting yourself, like, oh my gosh, I love my hair today, or look in the mirror and tell yourself you're beautiful, because you are. Everyone is beautiful in their own way, and there's no reason for you to compare yourself to others, because God made us differently for a special reason. We are just all different in our own unique ways, and if everyone was the same, life would be boring. I love how different everyone is. I love everyone's differences. And confidence, it definitely stems over time. You have to build it up, but dressing differently, putting on makeup once in a while, doing your hair for fun, or getting friends that really hype you up definitely helps. But yeah, those are my confidence tips. Just remember to stop going on Instagram and comparing yourself to other girls, because that's what I do. That's what I always do, and it always brings me down, and I don't like doing that anymore. So I would just stop doing that. Stop comparing, because we're all different. What do you do when you gain weight? Guys, this one really, yeah. Okay, so I went on birth control and I gained 12 pounds within like the 2 or 3 months that I had been on it. And that was probably the hardest time for me that I've experienced with weight. And for me, I didn't realize I was gaining weight until I looked in the mirror one day and I was like, wow, I look so much different than I used to. But another thing you have to think about is, like, it's normal to eat food. You need food. It is your fuel. And I may have been eating so much more food at that time because I had cravings and I just always wanted food. But like, it's healthy. Eating food is a necessary thing, and I needed to remember that. I wasn't going to stop eating my food because that is my fuel. Food is fuel. But when it comes to gaining weight, you can also work out in moderation. Don't overdo it, because I started overdoing my workouts and I would feel so sick afterwards, and it just was not worth it at that point. It happens over time, losing weight and gaining weight, but whatever you put into it is what you will get out. And I've been trying to work out a lot more recently to be happy with my body, and I think I've seen some kind of development. So working out, eating healthy, but not cutting yourself off from all foods is super important. Still eat what you love. Like, I love pasta and I'm not cutting it out of my diet because it's my favorite food, but it's obviously not the healthiest. What's your biggest ick? When a guy likes himself more than he likes you. If a guy is too cocky and obsessed with himself, that is my biggest ick, because you can tell that they are just way too confident and way too in love with themselves. And obviously everyone should love themselves. That's a known, like, given thing. But if they are just like fully in love with themselves, how are they ever gonna love someone else? That's what I always think about. And that's just always been my biggest ick. That's why I love Buddy, because he loves me more than he loves himself. Next one, how do I be less shy around boys? I would just say boys are probably just as intimidated to talk to you as you are to them. So try and remember that if you come off as confident, that's very attractive to them. And they're probably gonna like that you made the initiative to say hi to them, or you made the initiative to go up and talk to them. So they're probably very intimidated to come talk to you. That's all I've heard, is boys are scared of girls, even though it seems like they aren't. What bra brands do you recommend? I wear Target and Victoria's Secret pink bras. Those are my favorite. I think I'm gonna end this girl talk session with this question, and it is, have you ever been friends with a really toxic person? Love you. I love you too, and yes, I have been friends with the most toxic people ever. Like, I have had the worst friends and the worst friend groups, and just horrible things have happened to me in the past. But the way I've dealt with that is, once again, cutting off the toxic people and realizing that you don't need that many friends. You want the quality ones. If you can count your friends on one hand, you're good, because that's all you really need. You just need people to count on and not be toxic to you. I mean, I had a friend who literally left me alone at a concert, and I was stranded in Miami. Like, I could not get into the concert, but she got someone's ID and was able to get in, and I just stood there alone in Miami, which is very scary at night. And I just think that's such a toxic thing to do. That friend is not one of my friends, like, right now anymore. We're not close. But yeah, there have been a lot of situations like that where my friends put themselves before me. They don't care about my feelings. They don't care about what I'm doing with my life, and they just aren't being the best friends. So yeah, I've had a lot of toxic issues with friends, and I'm sure many of you have dealt with that as well. But the best thing you can do is just cut them off or not trust them anymore, because they do it one time, it's more than likely going to happen again. You can't trust them right after, and they need to build up the trust again. I think I'm going to end the video here with all those questions. Thank you so much for answering that question on my story and giving me these awesome topics to talk about for this girl talk video. This is actually the first girl talk video I've done, and if you guys like videos like these, please give this one a big thumbs up. I really like sitting down and talking to the camera and giving y'all advice or doing Q&As. Those are really fun videos to film for me. If you're new to our channel or haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, and thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. I love you so much. Bye!